Been in this fight since I was 6. Then I met a hot chick named Bix, but I'm a rebel, little tiny rebel. Ever feel like you're gonna die, hugging a stranger next to a blind guy on a beach somewhere? Would you even care? Oh, Bix, hottest of the Star Wars chicks. Why'd you have to fuck that guy under the ferric sky? Oh, Bix, hottest of the Star Wars chicks. Why'd you have to fuck that guy under our ferric sky? First met Bix and I kissed her. Forgot about the quest to find my sister for like 10 years. Now she's turning tricks, hanging out with the space grandpa. Mon Mothma's freshly single and she's looking good. What was I doing again? Oh, Bix, hottest of the Star Wars chicks. Why'd you have to fuck that guy under the ferric sky? Oh, Star Wars chicks. Why'd you have to fuck that guy under our ferric sky? Oh, Bix, hottest of the Star Wars chicks.
MakingStarWars.net.
Konnichiwa, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and that's Rob. He's dead. He's ghost. You're ghost,
The
right?
dead man. You like
From
my
a certain point of view.
you like my Chiron?
Mm-hmm. Mission, what? Padme? Possible?
Admissible.
Padmissible. There we go. There we go.
Right?
We
Because
got it.
Andor
Mm-hmm.
and Naboo
Mm-hmm.
and Mission Impossible. You get it?
I follow
Doing the
you.
math, Jason.
I follow.
Fucking-
You know what?
You better
It
write this
computes.
shit down.
Hold on. I'm
Get
gonna
a
make
yellow
a notepad.
notepad, canary.
Oh yeah. So remember how I was telling everybody yesterday about how I was dosed, I was drugged. I went
I
on
remember that story.
on a
the one I
magical
brought up.
adventure
Yeah.
that was not my idea. If it was my idea, I probably would have had a good time. At on June 23rd at 7:24, reminder to self: the world is breathing.
All I'm gonna say is, Azatru would never have a story like that. He wouldn't find himself in Echo Park at 3 a.m. trying to buy a muffin. Like,
You know
he'd be
why?
at home responsibly. Like,
Yeah, as a true hasn't fallen
best
into
of us.
the same traps in life as me. that's for damn
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
He's the future. He messaged me in the middle of the night for us. You know, normal.
Hold on, I
time
want
for
to deal
him.
with. I want to deal with this. I
What?
want to deal with this. Yeah, Julian goes, Rob, Harloff thought the new Mission Impossible is just okay. I don't like pretty much half of what Harloff says when it comes to films. Let me give you a specific example.
I think Harloff
one
is
that he
right.
has since rescinded. When Rogue One came out, he said he didn't like the score. He didn't like the music. I'm like, this shit was fucking amazing.
It was cognitive. Yeah, that was cognitive dissonance. It was different. For
Now
him,
he's
I
like,
think.
I turned back on it. I like it. So I don't know, man.
Because
I like
he's had
Harloff
Because
when
he's
he
probably had
interviews
like
people.
8 Star Wars shows that he's been able to watch and see different types of music with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then you look at that and you go, oh yeah, fucking
Right.
Giacchino fucking rocked that shit.
Right.
I'll give him a
Right.
pass on that
He
one.
didn't like Avatar. I love Avatar. So you figured out what out. You know.
So as a true texted me and he said it was great, pretty nonstop. So we'll need to see it again though. Had everything an indie film should have. Got me tearing up at the end. And then he sent us an article that we're going to cover today via Bestman Bulletin. So thank you again, as true.
So
and
sweet.
then
He cried.
and then he said the woman next to me left after 40 minutes or so. Laugh out loud. Not sure if anyone else did. Also, one to cover on the show later, and that was the article he sent. And so the woman who left, maybe Indiana Jones made her shit her pants. Did it, as a true, ever consider that? Maybe it was so fucking good she shit her pants and had to leave. Just saying.
That whole place would smell though.
I mean, well, she's a lady, dude. So maybe it doesn't smell. You know, that's what I heard. I heard ladies poops don't smell. Is that true?
Jason,
can you confirm?
I have no fucking.
Rob, does your wife ever bomb the bathroom? Confirm or deny on this in front of all these people?
If it didn't smell, it wouldn't be called shit. It'd give it a new name. That's all I gotta say.
Oh no! Sandra says, "Was the woman who left as a truth date? Maybe she didn't like him."
Santa shade.
Santa shade. She looked over at him and she said, "This guy's gonna start balling in a second, isn't he? I'm fucking out."
Hey, Santa! Dropping bombs in her pants and on as a true.
No, I know as a true, because when it comes to Dr. Jones, no time for love. That's what he would say.
Right? You know,
right,
that's true.
Right.
The thing about Santa is, if he's gonna start shit with you, just remember this is his closet. Like, you just remember, as a true, that's Santa's closet. I didn't make this one up. I took the shit right off his show. So there you go.
So let's go back and look at a story from I think March. One exclusive from March. Look, we even did a show on it already. But here we are, and this is the fact. Sources have told MakingStarWars.net, that's us, that Lucasfilm was planning to shoot at Hever Castle, Kent. The palace is about 30 miles from London, and the shoot will take place in the summer of 2023. That's today. The shoot's duration is unknown, but should feature a lot of background performers. We're not 100% sure this is for Andor, but other stories in the works would seem to indicate it is, and it is for Andor. And then right here, I talk a little bit about this story that I remembered about the shoot from T-Bone Star Wars Universe, and it was that they filmed at this waterfall. Fountain right here in the background, and you can see it on the Phantom Menace cutscenes, which are probably all over YouTube now, and I think they're on Disney Plus now as well. Yeah, screenshot.
You know, that both of them like that.
Yeah,
that honestly was a lot of people felt that same way about the Phantom Menace.
Hey. Watch it. But yeah, they really liked it. The fountain, the shot literally lingers on the fountain, like at the end of it. But
shout out to T-Bone.
And then there have been some love T-Bone Star Wars Universe. There have been recent reports that Star Wars Andor will film in Valencia, Spain this year. This is circumstantial evidence, but there is a chance, depending on where they are shooting in Spain, that also ended up being true, ended up panning out. So, yeah. So, why are we talking about it today? And we're gonna go and share this tab because we're fucking big old geeks with no future. No future for you. Yeah. So this is from Bestman Bulletin.
We need to put that photo up everywhere. Can we just crop them out? We need to crop them out, right? And put them over a blurred background of somewhere we want to go and just hold it up as if they've been everywhere. Like if we go to In-N-Out, right? We could put a blurred picture of In-N-Out.
we cut them out and put it over a transparent piece of plastic and just hold that in front of like In-N-Out and stuff.
Yeah, like Fuddruckers. Remember when they went to Fuddruckers? Yeah.
If any of you guys do it, send us the pictures every time you take one. We'll show it on the show.
We'll put them up.
So Naboo reportedly set to appear in Star Wars Andor Season 2, filming at a location used in The Phantom Menace. Now, here's something about this article, okay? And he's not wrong from a certain point of view. But I knew they filmed at Hever. I did know Mr. Bespin. I was aware. But when we were talking, I hadn't put it all together. I hadn't contextualized it all together yet. because I followed the Phantom Menace production more than anything in the history of Star Wars when I was back in the day. That's why I remember all of the old stories. And somewhere there's some kid that covers me and Bespin stuff who will remember all of that stuff when he's an old fucker.
Someone's
and
gonna
we're
remember
dead.
all those Filoni shit I come up with.
Oh no! Oh no! Well, that's
sadly
fine. That's
future
good.
kids problems.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. So I was out today. I was like driving. Hold on, let me see if I get this picture. I'm gonna interrupt this because I was laughing because I thought this was Dave Filoni. Oh no, it's one of those HEIC pictures. Why the fuck does it do that? I tell it not to, and then it just goes right back to doing those pictures. I don't want those
What's
pictures.
HEIC?
It's some stupid. Hold on, I'll just take a screenshot and then send that to my.
I'm not familiar with the terminology.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that where it has like all of the data, so you can fucking like move it around and like do like 30 frames of a picture or whatever. I turn it off and then my phone doesn't update and then it's just back on like sometime later. It's just a thing that keeps happening with the current iPhone for me. Yeah,
I don't have an iPhone, so you're.
But the problem is the HEIC pictures they don't want to show in browsers and shit. So
well, that makes sense. Let's come up with pictures that don't show up in browsers.
I was driving and I saw this and I thought it was Filoni. I was like, I had to like double take. I was like, that fucking Dave Filoni. No, that's not Dave Filoni.
Can you send me that photo? We'll have some fun with this.
Yeah.
Send me a good copy of that.
We're looking at him. He's Coyote. Look how cool he is. Coyote. And Dave likes dogs. You see, I mean, it's almost
This is somewhere between Dave Filoni and Saul Goodman, right? It's somewhere between there. Yeah.
This is like in South Park when Mexico has the Mexican space program. This is like Mexican Lucasfilm right here.
Gosh, man. If we ever do get past COVID for reals, I do want to go to the Casa Bonita again. Now that those two guys bought it out.
There's like a big.
We went back when it was real shitty. Like, and I can confirm the food was was not good. Oh, it was real. It was real. We saw the dive, cliff diving, and everything.
Yeah, they hired like a real chef to make the old food, but to make it good. Did you see that?
Yeah. The place was nice and well kept, though. Like, I'll give it that. Like, it wasn't like a Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. Like for a family, and what's crazy is when you go in, it's the shittiest part of fucking town. It really is like the dirtiest parts of like Hollywood Boulevard. Like it's pretty fucked up. Then you have this one thing. You go in there and they got Employee of the Month back to 1978 on the wall. Every year from 1978 up to when we went was 2016.
It's a lot of employees of the month.
Yeah, but yeah, I am interested in seeing what they. I got photos of me at that place.
Nice. On BespinBulletin.com, he writes, the critically acclaimed Star Wars series Andor is currently still in the midst of filming despite the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike. Today, the production started setting up a shoot for a location previously used for Naboo and Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. You can support him on Patreon.
Do you think what's Skarsgård's character's name again? I forget. What's his name?
Luthen. Rail.
Luthen.
Because he'll rail a bitch. Yeah, he will.
Do you think he calls Padme Padmer? Like Andor, like Padmer, like that's his thing.
Yeah,
Padmer.
She's all. It's Padme, Padmer, Padme, Padmer,
Padmer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Padmer.
All right, Emperor Palpatine. All right, here we go. Today, a Redditor by the name of Most Valued Player 1029.
Okay.
After he got this, I'll believe him. He's probably a most valuable player. All right.
Whatever happened to names like T-Bone? Now we got Most Valued Player.
No,
1029. The kids these days.
It was always like loves to eat butt 1138 and shit like that.
That's not kids good. Back in our days, they had names like Professor Moriarty.
Oh god.
Right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm friends with him. I'm friends with him on Twitter.
I don't think anyone's friends with Drew McWeeny. I think he's friendly with you, and then he'll turn on you. Like he turns on everybody.
Okay. I'm not saying we know each other. I'm saying we are Twitter friends. We follow each other. Yeah.
Sure.
Today, a Redditor by the name of Most Valued Player took to the site to share 2 images of filming preparations taking place at Hever Castle, Canton, England. We've known that Andor Season 2 was set to film at the location since February, with MakingStarWars.net that filming at Hever Castle was planned for June. And then he's all stupid. This is where he's got to insert himself. I exclusively informed Making Star Wars ahead of their exclusive report at the time that Hever was a location previously used for Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Okay, whatever.
So you gotta say it like the prince at Temple of Doom. And I was the one who went to Italian Loggia. And I was the one who went to the Phantom Menace. And I was the one that liked to eat Budnick 1138.
Yeah. As a kid, I was like, that's a prince. Is that a princess? I couldn't tell. I was like, is that a princess or a prince? I'm confused.
It's a boy, but they got a chick. She did like the voices to the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. The one that did the ADR on it. Oh, so they redid the voice with the voice actor? It's ADR, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's why it tripped me out as a kid. That makes sense.
Yeah. I have no idea why, but
I was the one who the Phantom Menace.
I was like, is Short Round and this little girl supposed to get together? Like, I was like, what are we doing here? Like, I was like, all right, man, like, sure, pronoun, who cares? Like, it's a it's a complicated world, Jason. Love finds a way.
Right? Man,
then Short Round was punching the shit out of Little Prince. Remember when they cut back the punches? That's great, right? Indy punches, Short Round punches. Indy punches.
Yep.
That's when I understood editing. I was like, look at that.
The power of it. So he informed me that it was from the Phantom Menace production, filmed for one day at the location back in 1997, using the Italian loggia, which features a large marble fountain. Unfortunately, those scenes did not make the final cut of the film, but can be seen in the deleted scenes featured follow. Actually, though, they filmed a battle droid being cut in half, and that battle droid shot is in the film. I'm pretty fucking sure the battle droid shot's in the film.
Did you come across the people, Jason, back in the day who thought that go up to that castle shop? Did you come across people who thought that shit was all CGI?
People still think that's all CGI.
They would go, that just doesn't look real, Rob. I'm like, that's a model, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and yeah, but not like how they used to do movies, like back when they really built Cloud City. Like those were the days. At the time,
I would tell them, I'm like, if it was all CGI, why wouldn't LucasArts just use the CGI for all the fucking CGI renders that they would do, like in those games and shit? Remember they would do like a CGI version of Naboo?
Oh, that's like because
thing like that.
You don't know about the early parts of the Lucasfilm Civil War, Rob. That's why you don't know about that. Guys who dress up in masks and then have problems with people who wear drag. They know a lot about this. You don't know about it. You're not watching the right YouTube channels, so maybe someday you'll know. At the time of the MSW report, Andor filming scenes at Hever Castle, a location used for Naboo and the Phantom Menace, raised questions of speculation regarding an appearance of Naboo in the Star Wars series. When I captured pictures of a large set being built at Pinewood Studios, London, back in December, some questions at the time if the set being constructed was Naboo due to the architecture. However, the person who captured images of pre-production taking place at Hever Castle claims to have spoken with a security guard part of the production and informed the Redditor that the series was planning to use the location for Naboo, as Star Wars once did in 1997, seemingly confirming our past speculation. And right here, you see.
You think we'll see old ass C.O. Bibble?
I don't know, but
like he's just babbling. C.O. babble.
But it's like, I'm kind of curious if we're gonna go, like, when I look at this, I'm curious if, like, when we see that section in of Naboo from Return of the Jedi, is that going to be like sort of retcon to being like post reconstruction, so to speak? Because look at this. No, look at this picture. Right. Yeah, it's definitely painting a picture that Naboo is become dilapidated, unless we're just seeing another part of Naboo, which is also, maybe not the most. They fixed
it all up, then they celebrated, then we cut to it 20 years after.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird.
Well, no, I mean, it's
that special
nanobots
doesn't really count.
Sorry, it's nanobots, Rob. It's nanobots.
I don't like the special.
I love them.
I don't like it.
I love. Oh, come on. Special edition is
Fix
better
the
than
visual
the
effects,
non-special.
but all that other shit, I don't know. Oh, Jason, big news break. Disney's selling Lucasfilm to George Lucas. Did you hear about this? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I did, actually. Yeah. Fucking breaking news, bud.
Yeah, I was gonna buy the Sriracha company, but they're out of business. So
they're out. Yeah.
So, so I'm gonna buy Lucasfilm instead.
What was genius about you was you sold it to them for $4 billion, then you let them wreck it because they went woke, so they went broke. But you told them to go woke, knowing they would go broke. Then you bought it back for $2 billion, and you made $2 billion.
It's true.
You're a genius, dude.
I was in a dark place at the time.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta go spend $120 on Sriracha and one bottle on Amazon.
All right. Bye, George. The specific part of the castle that pre-production is taking place in is that of the Italian. I think that said Loggia, the same as the part. I'm Robert Loggia. The part used for the Phantom Menace.
I was Italian Loggia. I was with. Look, everyone makes fun of mostly. Yeah, but the repeating of I in Temple of Doom is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
It does. I love that movie, but
it's a little high pitch Eric, isn't it? From Howard Stern.
Oh shit!
It is.
Oh shit! You motherfucker! You just ruined that movie for me.
Maybe that's what. Maybe high pitch Eric was
pancakes.
Yeah. I stuck needles in Indiana Jones. All right. Despite the Redditor's claims, the fact that the production is using the exact same spot with instantly recognizable architecture is likely enough reason to conclude that Andor Season 2 will feature the beloved.
Hold on, location. Star Wars Meg. Hold on there.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Just leading to all sorts of assumptions,
No, on this one is so my sources were assuming it was. But I always go with an assumption is not a smoking gun. You know what I mean? Like we could assume a lot with Star Wars. It's a made up fantasy place. Sometimes bad calls are just made. Like there was so many like things I reported on like episode 9 where people were like, there has to be more, blah, blah, there has to be this, there has to be that. And there just wasn't. And sometimes, we can't assume anything. But I will say with the sources assuming so, the security guard who talked to this person may not know anything. They may have just Googled it themselves on their phone while they were just waiting out their board guarding the set and said that. That's possible. Also, in the future, Bespin Bulletin did not do anything wrong because this person put it on Reddit. It was. You think all
those bricks are made out of Padme?
What I'm trying to say though is what I'm trying to say is when if you go to a film set and somebody tells you something, do not say who told it to you. That person is definitely fired. That security guard will not be there tomorrow. So that's the kind of stuff where
a guy fired.
Probably. I mean, probably.
Hey, also, I thought there weren't any bricks in Star Wars, Jason.
But at the same time, Lucasfilm, let's assume that maybe the Redditor is lying. Maybe they want it to be Naboo. Maybe they embellished their story, wanted to make their pictures cooler than they were. Maybe the security guard didn't do it. Don't fire him, Lucasfilm. Don't fire him. You don't fucking know. You don't know what you don't know. So there we go. Did we just save his job? I think we did, Rob. I think we did something good today. Probably.
Bidenomics.
Okay. What?
Just trying to trigger Santa. Like you'll say. Okay. Let's give it a second.
Over the weekend, the Andor season 2 production filmed scenes featuring the Empire at Canary Wharf, London, which you can see images here and here, which we covered this week. So you can watch our last 2 shows if you want to see those. Or go to bestandbulletin.com. And by the way, thank you to everybody who's a channel member on the show and super chats us and all that jazz. Super appreciated. I haven't thanked you guys enough lately. I appreciate it. The location was previously used in Andor Season 1 for the ISB headquarters, in addition to filming at Hever Castle and Canary Wharf. The production has ventured across various parts of the United Kingdom, including Wales, and even ventured to Valencia, Spain, since filming on the highly anticipated second season began in November. Though the WGA strike has hampered multiple productions, Andor has continued to shoot despite the strike, as the series creator Tony Gilroy concluded his writing duties on the second and final season mere days before the strike began, and stepped away from his production duties after being accused of scabbing by a fellow WGA member. You got to say his name. I don't remember what it was, but you got to say it, Bespin. Say his name if you're going to fuck him.
Since we're thinking members, I'd like to thank our member Chris Breezy for giving so much money to the hot mic and getting so little in return. I just want to say thank you for that, because it just makes me happy. Every day I wake up, I think about it. I laugh first thing in the morning, and I go get my coffee.
Did he give more? Did he give more this week?
Oh, he gave last week for certain. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, can you tell me the name of the next Star Wars movie? And they're like, just keep the money. Don't even answer. Just keep the money.
Yeah. Any updates on the secret script? And he goes, no.
Yeah.
Thanks for the $20.
Oh, is that what he asked?
I don't know. It was
okay.
Like
because I was like,
it's a little too general. He needs to get a little more specific.
Mm-hmm.
I like your thing where you go for something that will lead to something else. That kind of sparks a secondary conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't want a yes or a no. You want an elaboration. Yeah.
Maybe Spreezy runs his questions through Chat GPT first, right? See if the response is yes or no, then you should articulate it a little bit more, right? I mean, it's your money. You can spend it however you want. Sure. Certainly not spending it on Taco Bills, but
yeah. For those who don't know, Spreezy lost a bet and was supposed to go to Taco Bell and eat at like the Australian Taco Bell, but he has yet to do it. He hasn't done it at all.
No, he shaved his head before he did that.
And no, you need to say, I know Jason is the all-knower. It is a dark time of our history.
And I ate a muffin from the Thuggy Cult, and I only paid $5, and I tripped out on voodoo mushrooms for 45 minutes in the park.
Oh, 45 minutes. No. It was no, I got home and I'm like playing guitar right here. And then I think, oh man, I'm getting like my ex, both my kids were sick for like a week in a row. Just boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, I'm going down. I'm sick, you know? I'm like, I got it. And I'm like, oh man, you know, and instead of it turning into like the Beatles magical mystery tour and me coming back to my DAW here and I have this magic song written, I was just like, I got to put this guitar down because I got to go outside. So I was home tripping out, which 45-hour trip, Jedi Mike. I think it was about 2 a.m. by the time I was finally okay. And I turned on the TV and it was like a movie called Red Notice. And everything looked fake to me. And the whole movie, like it was using CGI in moments. I'm like, why did you just film Ryan Reynolds looking around a corner? Why did you have to like do it in CGI? It's fucking, that movie was crazy. And then I looked at it.
Is this the time to talk about our sponsor, Minch Mobile?
Yes, right? Minch Mobile. Right. I wish Minch Mobile was real. Oh yeah, but you know what? Yeah. Speaking of mobile games, this will probably be a mobile game someday.
Oh, I can't wait.
Star Wars Eclipse is so Star Wars Eclipse is aiming to release in 2026. So about 3 years from now. So if you were remember like in the past, we were like talking about how like that trailer wasn't from the game. It was just a trailer made to sell a concept and shit like that.
Yeah.
I to this day, have to believe that story. I don't remember who had it because I don't follow gaming enough, so I apologize. Maybe Bespin knows, but there was somebody had a scoop, and it was this trailer was just to get investors for the company. They didn't do this because we don't need to know this, so it was just to get somebody to buy them, basically. Quantic Dream to buy Quantic Dream, which was like some like what is it like some like cell phone sundries company or something. I can't remember what they were called.
Probably the Embracer Group, right? They bought everything.
So the controversials, see, and usually when I see something like controversial, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's get Punk on this shit. But this guy's lame. He just wants to sound like a fucking Mortal Kombat character, fucking dork. The controversial, I mean, can you imagine like, yeah, you know, like if I was like, yeah, my name is Stryker, like I was serious. I'm like, yeah, I'm Stryker. Like that's what my name is Jason Stryker. I'm here to bring you the Star Wars news. You fucking dork. You're not.
We're doing Star Wars news from down at the Titanic, Jason. That's what we're gonna Stryker all down under. All right, like we're gonna go down.
Yeah, so I'm like behind on some of my podcasts, and so some of the podcasts I listen to are just getting to the fucking sub. And I was thinking about you, and I was like, okay, Rob, if two rich people had said, "I won't go, but you could have my spot," would you have taken the spot on that little sub? Like just you don't get to Google.
The only way you're ever getting me on a submarine is if James Cameron himself were in that fucking thing. Only if it imploded, I wanted to know I died with James Cameron. You'd never be able to get that. That's it. There's no fucking way, bro. I wouldn't go on to submarines at Disneyland because one motherfucker ripped a fart in there once, and I just wanted to kill myself when I was a kid. Like,
spoilers, it was Rob. He did it.
It was not me.
Yeah,
I'm gassy enough, but I could never. Tanks make me claustrophobic now, man. I couldn't get in a sub again, dude. Crazy.
Yeah, I think I would have done it. I think I'd be dead today. I think if
That's
I
why
had,
I'm impressed.
If it was like get on right
do.
now, like you don't get to Google it. They're like you could get in and go right now to the Titanic.
No,
I would probably be like,
care.
all right.
I have 3D films. I can go to the Titanic in 3D. I can just watch it 3D. I'm good.
Oh yeah, I mean I could watch porn in 3D too, but it's not the same.
You're not going out to the Titanic. You still have to look through a porthole or a video screen when you're down there. It's not like you're fucking walking the deck and looking at all the shit, bro. You know.
So
you're not
Bestman,
really going there.
No, but you get to see it with your own eyes, like Anakin Skywalker looking at Luke Skywalker for the first time before his death. You know.
Do you need to see me with your own eyes to get the authentic Rob?
Good point. Really. Good point. Bestman Bulletin says it was Tom Henderson who said it was, and he's the one breaking this. So there we go. There we go. You know.
Oh yeah, Tom Henderson. I remember that dude.
Mm-hmm. Harry and the Tom Hendersons is
we made that same joke.
Probably did. Yes.
We don't have a lot of range.
Bestman says, be like Rob, Santa, and Jason and support me if you want. You probably won't, but it'll help. Yeah. I mean, I would say, I'm telling you guys, one of these days, me and Bestman, we're going to have a conversation in Fortnite, and we're just going to be like, let's just fucking walk away and not say anything. Just disappear.
Could you do that? And then I'll just do the show and not tell anyone where you guys went.
We won't ever talk to you again. You won't know what actually happened to us, Rob. We can't tell you.
What if I start getting more views because I just make up Star Wars news?
Oh, that will definitely work. That will definitely work. I see all kinds of talentless hacks. I'm
gonna just change the logo. I'll just write the word up, so it'd be making up Star Wars.
Making up Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every now and then you'll talk about the movie Up. So when somebody calls you a liar, no, I'm talking about the movie Up. I love
that movie. Yeah. Yeah,
that's why
when his wife died. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you sold it.
Yeah, that's why.
It was George's idea to kill the baby and the wife. You're fucking dark, dude. You're Temple of Doom dark sometimes, bud. You're Temple of Doom dark.
Yeah. I laugh though. It's my favorite part of the movie. Also, I liked it when they incinerated the toys. They incinerated them. Yeah, that was my I actually played the Temple of Doom theme. We put the lightsaber sound in the lava. They cut it.
As a true, thank you for the fact check. As a true says NetEase, China Mobile Gaming. Yes, there we go, NetEase. Which it honestly sounds a bit like something you put on your asshole, so when you butt fuck, it doesn't hurt as much, doesn't it?
I'm gonna buy back Lucasfilm, but NetEase is gonna buy me, and so they're gonna get Lucasfilm in the process. Yeah. Is it
NetEase or NetEase?
Yeah, you got to do it like an Austin Powers with the like Fat Bastard. Yeah. The Dr. Evil, right? The little pinky thing. You got to go NetEase.
Rob show. Bestman Bulletin says we'll leave and can only be found in Fortnite. If Rob ever wants to speak to us again, he knows where to find us.
Yeah. Rob talks to himself most days. So it's pretty sad.
NetEase. Ooh, it's the most
I'm gonna
sexy.
Do the show. I'm gonna do experimental YouTube Star Wars news videos when you guys leave.
Yeah. All right, George.
All right, well,
George,
I gotta go.
We got to read the article, George. We're stalling out
here.
Show.
All right, bye.
Fuck you, George. You fucking asshole. All right, the controversial Star Wars video game being developed, but I hate that guy. I hate Star Wars and I hate George Lucas. It's out. Secret's out. I only like Dave Filoni's fucking cool hat. The controversial Star Wars video game being developed by Quantic Dream Star Wars Eclipse. Sorry, and I love laughing at my own jokes. Is reportedly targeted a 2026 release window. but behind the scenes issues could see that the game's released even later. Okay. And once again, let's support Making Star Wars and Bestman Bulletin if you're going to support
Well, we're
anybody.
supposed to get PS6 in 2028, so that'll just be 2 years away from PS6.
And then we could delve into the controversy of, oh no, the new game only works on the PS6. Come on, I still got a PS3. All right, the Eclipse report comes today from Tom Henderson. There he is, old Tommy H. That's how I know him from back in school. We used to sit, cross-legged on the little carpet, and we used to eat crackers,
I don't think Tom Henderson went to juvenile hall, Jason.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that was actually the movie Con Air. I was thinking of something totally different. Exclusively
put the bunny back in the box.
Yeah. So Tommy H exclusively reported this on Insider Gaming. So check that out if you want to read the actual article. I should be doing that, but you know what? I just love this little Bestman Bulletin so much. I can't take my little eyes off it.
Plus, I want to get my money's worth. I'm paying this guy, so he needs to write.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. So if you've been following Eclipse, and it's not the gum, it's this video game, reports that Henderson would be a familiar name to you. I have been, but I forgot. But thank you, Asatru and Bestman Bulletin, for reminding me. Back in March of 2022, and writing for X-Fire, Henderson reported that Quantic Dream were struggling to hire 67 developers for Eclipse, the game, not the gum. This was 3 months after the studio were looking to hire 60 members of staff for the project, according to X-Fire. The studio, everything sounds like a fucking Tangerine Dream record. Like, this is we're Quantic Dream, Tangerine Dream, Eclipse, X-Fire doing the soundtrack to Legend 2.
Wasn't X-Fire a gaming peripheral thing? I want to say it was.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was.
You know what I mean? So you could kind of vaguely see it in your head, right?
Mm-hmm. That sounds familiar.
Like a switch box thing with the turbo thing or something like that.
Or it was like a third party peripheral controller that had turbo, but it wasn't any good.
Something.
Meaning there's still likely unfulfilled positions, like your mom, dating back to December 2021. The same report from Henderson also mentioned debuting the Eclipse trailer at 2021 Game Awards of attracting staff with Quantic Dream's hope at the time to release their Star Wars project in 2024. But due to being unable to attract talent to the project, Eclipse was looking to release it 2027 or even 2028. I mean, come on.
Can't they just get Midjourney to make it for them?
How about they just throw it? How about they just scrap it?
I thought Midjourney could just make all this shit.
I mean, why even if your company is so fucked, you can't get people to make your games? If this narrative is accurate, might be just time to fucking scrap the company. You know what I mean? Rename it. At
or become a VC, a guy who just puts money into indie companies who are making other games. You know.
But it's like, like if I don't have like a really cool guy named like fucking, Johnny Robotic or something, like making the game, dude, I don't know if I can trust it. You know what I mean?
David Kage.
Bukake Bill or something. I don't know. All right.
David Kage.
It was also previously reported by Henderson that the studio had faced issues with their QD engine, as the QD engine's architecture was apparently built for more confined levels with smaller areas to explore with a limited number of AI. Eclipse is apparently going to be multi-planet exploring title with open world elements, and the QD engine, according to the report, doesn't work for such an ambitious title. No. And apparently this is one of the reasons the studio is looking to be acquired. Henderson claims that the studio is also having issues with multiplayer, which is rumored to be part of Eclipse. And it's like, God, man, they're already like that sounds like, you would think, I mean, I don't know anything about gaming, but I would think that would be like a late stage edition, something that like you keep or you lose depending on how it's going. But
why would a point and click adventure engine have multiplayer? You know what I mean? Like, like everything about this just sounds stupid. It's like the guy's like, I want you to buy my studio because I have an idea for a Star Wars game we can't make. Like,
yeah, it's really weird.
Like, that's not how that works, man. Like, but we made all these other games that no one really fucking liked. So, like, could you just buy my studio because I have an idea?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Well, I mean, and like back in the day when Star Wars was exclusive, well, two things. When Star Wars was exclusive to EA, it's like if you wanted to work on a Star Wars game, you were going to have to work at EA. But today we're not there. You could work at a number of companies making a Star Wars game today. So they kind of lose a bit of the pizzazz on that, right? But then this is the company's also like fucking like it's like French, right? It's a French company.
Look,
and I don't know if they give a fuck about Star Wars in the same way that like the larger, like European, no, they are European, American, and like the UK, like it's a different thing over there. It's not as big.
This
dude
is essentially making point and click adventure games. Point and click adventure games need to be made with a small group of people on a modest budget.
But he's not. He's obviously not trying to do that anymore.
But he keeps trying to like make these into bigger, procedurally generated AAA things, and it's like it's not that, man. Like you could get a fun Star Wars point click adventure game out of fucking like, I mean, not that Ron Gilbert would ever do it because he doesn't care for Star Wars, but I'm just saying like that, like him and like 4 people made the new Monkey Island game, and him and one other person made Thimbleweed Park. Have you played Thimbleweed Park? It's just cool, man. It's like X-Files point and click adventure meets kind of like Twin Peaks. Like it's cool, but it's a retro thing, like.
Insider Gaming stole info from Bestman Bulletin, refused to give credit. Fuck you, Insider Gaming, you fucking bitch. If I ever see you,
get acquired by Star Wars, and they become Star Wars
Insider Gaming, if I ever fucking run across you, and like we're like in a field, and there's like broken glass and like sticks on the ground, you better get ready.
And look, I've never worked on a point and click adventure game, but I have watched a Double Fine adventure making of like 700 fucking times, and I follow Ron Gilbert on Mastodon, the one guy I follow because it's the only place he posts,
Right.
Like, and the thing I can tell you is, I've seen over the last 20 years companies try to turn the point and click adventure thing into like a repeatable, churnable business model. Case in point, Telltale, like when they made the Back to the Future games, the Walking Dead stuff, they're trying to turn them into episodic content. And it, in theory, that makes sense because like it's a story. You'll walk around, you'll explore. We can do this easy, but it isn't. It's still puzzle based, and puzzles, they're so finicky with people, man. And
it's diminishing. It's diminishing
really
returns
hard.
As well. You don't want to start on like the 5th one, and you don't want to go buy all the other ones. So
it's really hard to get people to QA these things because they're not really replayable.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're like clearly dreaming too big for the little house that they made. They're trying to put too much in their little house.
I'm like, if this motherfucker had just been like, look, I want to make a Final Fantasy Tactics like game with Star Wars tactics, Star Wars Eclipse tactics or some shit, and just fucking tell your story through a tactical fucking battle game, get a good battle system going, get all the fucking stat guys to manage the stats, and just tell a good story that way. The game would be out by now.
Yeah.
But they're trying to invent fucking things that don't exist and can't exist, Like a multiplayer open world, multi-planet, multiplayer fucking adventure, point and click adventure game that isn't but has third party, but it doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be, man.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest fucking... This is like... Don't ever do this to you, folks. When you come up with something, I know you want something to be everything because, like, when you watch a movie, you're like, it wasn't this, it could be that. But when you're actually making stuff, just stick to something small. Like, it's not going to be everything you ever wanted it to be. So let it be clear and readable to what people are engaging with. You're going to make a comic strip, make a comic strip. Don't be like, it's also a motion comic / Web3 series that is an NFT generated newsletter that will go to your fucking
I don't care what they want to do. What pisses me off about this in the big picture is that they used us. They used our fandom. They used our expectations and our hope
to generate money,
to generate VC capital for something that they couldn't handle in the first place. So number one, of all of the bullshit that goes with the toxic work culture of fucking Ninja Dave, whatever the fuck he calls himself, like that right there was a dickhead move. And I hope that like Lucasfilm doesn't do business with these kinds of companies ever again, and that if they have done something on their future when Lucasfilm Games deals with these publishers or whatever you call it, I hope that there is something that says you can't fucking do that. Like I hope they are.
Yeah, Lucasfilm should be like, let's take $250 million that we would allocate for one series, and let's get 10 indie studios to make fucking indie level fucking Star Wars games and focus on Star Wars indies. You know, and just you could do a whole fucking Nintendo style direct Star Wars game style with just Star Wars indie games that are coming out that are budgeted at around the $10 million range, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and you could probably generate a lot of goodwill and interesting, diverse fucking gameplay things that aren't based around some AAA pie in the sky dream that ain't ever gonna fucking happen.
But you know what it really is that they hire trust fund babies into the company via Disney who end up there that don't know their ass from their elbow, and they go through the motions, but they're living their dream because they really when they saw Star Wars when they were 9 years old, it changed their life, and they just realized that they didn't want to, be an accountant. So
someday I wanted to have my name on the company and be in charge of everything. That's what I took away from Star Wars.
I saw George Lucas. I really got a hard on for that power I thought he had. So, anyways,
hold on. Some tech bro gets into Lucasfilm, wants to find a way to resell it to Disney. Can we sell it twice?
Yeah.
It's
by the way,
my dream.
Comic Bench brings up Outlaws. He's all looks fun, but man, I'm already ready to move up in the Empire. So. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. The Empire stuff, I could take or leave it. Like I'm with you to an extent. I know what you mean. What I keep tripping on is on when I go on Twitter, I keep getting ads. They're paying for ads for Outlaws now. Is that weird?
Twitter's ad
it's just so
pricing
cheap.
Is so cheap that it's the only way people are going to see or talk about your thing anyway. Given the way they don't like, because if you put up a video or a link right now, they disable your engagement. So like, even like if you're trying to promote a Kickstarter or something right now, you're an indie studio, you have to make a post, and then in the comments you have to post links. You can't even and I'm sure they'll find a way around that in like 6 months too. So it's basically it. What I just go through, man, is I spend 5 minutes of my day in the morning. I open up Twitter. And I don't read anything. I just block ads. That's all I do now. I feel like, I did my job today. Like I'm just trying to find a way to hurt Elmo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, but what Bespin is saying here is important though, in evaluating what this game is. Eclipse isn't supposed to be anything like their past releases. More of a typical action adventure AAA title with an open world. It's why they're having so many issues. They're basically trying to make Outlaws with the engine of the game that they had before.
But it's a point and click adventure engine. At the end of the day,
it's not going to work.
They can go and say, no, it's really about choices and blah. It's a point and click adventure game.
But
that's all it is.
When we see this amount of delay from the game, like by the time it comes out, does that say to you that they are building a new engine from the ground up for it or using something else?
Bro, building an open world engine from the ground up, that's $100 million venture.
It's cool. All you do is you just say you're making a new Star Wars trilogy, and then you announce it, and then you get investors to give you the money.
And I know what people think, but ChatGPT is not generating the code for that. I know y'all think that.
I don't know, because I've been having some pretty sexy conversations with ChatGPT.
Let me go to ChatGPT right now. I'll just log in here. I'll create new chat. I'll go to 4, so it's all the current people can go. You're not using 4. Let me go. Please create a.
No. Rob. Say.
What do I put?
What's this guy's name? David what? David Cash.
David Kage.
David. No. What's his name? David Cage. David Cage.
Yeah.
Say, can he ask ChatGPT to abuse you like David Cage does his employees?
Oh, no, it won't allow you to even put abuse in the...
Oh, right. Talk dirty to me. Can you talk dirty?
Right. Can you... No, it won't do that. You make a AAA open world game engine for me. How about that?
You know what I would have done if I worked for that company and I was going to quit on my last day? I would have dressed up like Indiana Jones and then punched all the Nazis. No?
Yeah, it says it can't do it.
Oh, okay. It can't do it.
Yeah, it says as an AI developed by OpenAI, I'm not able to directly code a game engine for you. I can't help
This is like when C-3PO couldn't read the Sith writing, on the dagger.
Oh, here's some few steps to get started that maybe David Kage could listen to. 1, decide the scope of your game engine.
No.
This will help you focus your efforts. Given that you want to make a AAA open world game engine, you should plan to support the required features, such as large-scale terrain rendering, day and night cycles, real-time shadows, lighting, and efficient resource management. Yeah.
As the truth says, EA's method of announcing is still the best way so far. Every game reveal to release has been top tier on timing. And then Bestman says Eclipse was also supposedly a reworking of a game they were trying to sell to Sony and were trying to get acquired by Sony, then get a deal with Lucasfilm to reskin it. So that's a lot of hijinks going on.
Right now, the only people that have open world game engines sitting around not doing anything is Ubisoft. Like that's it. They're the only ones because all their games have been based around open. They're not particularly written well or engaging, but they do work.
Bestman says YouTube keeps forcing Outlaws ads on me. You know what ads I cannot get rid of off the internet is it'll be like a fucking guy like a white guy and he's sitting with some like Latino guys and it'll be like Jesus, he's just one of the boys. Like Jesus, he's pretty cool too. It's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like it's, and then like when you look it up though, like it seems like they're kind of like trying to do this like pro love like Jesus thing, but the company who's actually doing it's really awful. And so whenever you see those, it's like, oh, the message is good, but it's a big trick.
And before people go, what about Bethesda and open world games?
Yeah,
Microsoft owns them. So they're not sitting around for people to use as they're exclusive. And Bethesda is not a multi-project company. They're a single project company right now. So they're singularly focused on Starfield. That's it. The Elder Scrolls games, but
Rob,
that's 5 years away,
you're wrong.
dude.
You're wrong. You are wrong because they made that vaccine. Remember that vaccine? They made the vaccine.
Ubisoft can crank out a game in 2 to 3 years, dude.
It was an inside
Bethesda's 7 years into Starfield and it still ain't done. So really? I had a friend go the other day. He goes, "What about Red Dead Redemption and GTA?" I'm like, those are engines that were tailored for those games. They're not just, you can't just plug Star Wars into it.
Save it for Bill Gates.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm stupid.
Like I said, it's very the open world thing, man. Guys, I mean, you just got to understand how incredibly difficult that is. And it helps when you have pre-made assets. So Twilight of the Kingdom takes 6 years to get done, and look how many assets were pre-made.
Yeah.
Elden Ring took 6 years to get done, and how many animations and assets were still pre-made. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you're starting from scratch, you need to be able to reuse a lot of assets, and so you need pre-made assets already built. And Ubisoft has at least 15 years worth of we got rocks and plants and foliage and all sorts of, they got huts and shit from not slug huts, but Tunisian-style huts.
Do you think up in heaven, Jesus is behind a computer right now making some of that, and it's like Jesus?
Those are not Unreal engines. Ubisoft uses Snowdrop and then a lot of custom stuff, dude. Unreal doesn't work at all with open world at all, and they're trying to deal with that with Unreal 5 and future iterations of it, but it isn't. And the minute you try to open up a map in Unreal 5 in real time, the size of let's just say
your mom's ass,
the size of very clever. She's dead, but thank you.
Not yours. I mean, just that
you said your mom's, not yours, but yours.
Yours. Everybody at home thinks I'm talking about their mom's ass too. So just so you know, Rob.
But you said yours to me. So like I said, something like Assassin's Creed, that thing's gonna chug around 12 frames per second, 13 frames per second. It's not you can't go off the videos that show you when they go, look, but we're procedurally generating all this content. Yeah, graphically, but there's no AI. There's no AI mapping systems. There's no pathfinding. There's no quest driven. There's no sound, which is sound is
it don't work. What Rob is trying to say is it don't work. So who cares, right? That's the point, right? It don't work.
Well, there's just a reality to like your idea and what the reality of who can pull this stuff off.
Yeah.
This is where I do think having your own studio, LucasArts, that is solely focused on doing something like this is the better bet, because it's not.
Rob, they can't even sell an Indiana Jones movie right now. Get off their backs. They don't know what they're doing.
I didn't say Lucasfilm. I said LucasArts.
I know they don't know what they're doing right now, Rob.
I know Disney doesn't understand video games though, but they don't get it.
Sometimes it's like having an 80-year-old woman run your company that's meant for like 25-year-olds isn't the smartest thing. I don't know. I love Catholic Kennedy, but we are kind of hitting the point where maybe it's time to move on.
And
maybe
not just that, but like Iger doesn't get video games. You know what I mean? Like, look what they did to Disney Infinity. That's a thing that they could have found another way to make it all digital and still.
But
work
you know who
like
does get
releases,
us, Rob?
But...
Jesus, he gets us. The ad told me so.
Are we gonna go? What was that shit that was in the 90s? The harvest festivals. Remember that shit was around everywhere. Every time we turn around, someone's got a harvest festival.
Did I ever tell you? Did I ever tell you about my fucking Mallrats like moment at the harvest festival?
No. But I do think Kevin Smith should have done a Harvest Festival Mallrats sequel, like Mallrats 3 for Jesus or some shit. Like,
okay. I'm gonna move on from this article because I am officially sick of the topic. But the one last thing that I want to that Bespin just texted me in 2019, Quantic Dream developed a game known as Project Karma. They were trying to selling the game to Sony after their 3-game deal ended. Quantic Dream were hoping to be acquired by Sony, and once that didn't happen, they began pushing it to other companies. QD then pitched a rework game, Project Karma, to Lucasfilm and got a deal. QD then put out a trailer earlier than needed in hopes of attracting developers and, more importantly, finding a company to acquire them. Most respectable Western companies didn't want any involvement, it seems, hence getting acquired by a Chinese mobile game company. QD, from a civilization who killed almost all of their women and now will collapse someday. QD were playing the fans from the start, simply looking for acquisition. Surprise Lucasfilm are still allowing this to go ahead with all the controversy, the allegations, all the reports about looking for acquisition and struggling to get staff. Surely they should just walk away. And that's my opinion too. I don't understand why they're doing it that way. But
and on a gaming note, I'm not a fan of open world games overall. I like the zone based gameplay, closer to Final Fantasy 16 that just came out, or Final Fantasy 12, where you can create big open areas that are specific to an area, and then you have like an over map that you kind of go in and out, so you feel like you went to somewhere large, but you're not actually forced to walk across 7 million miles of fucking terrain that it's just pointless. I believe the zone-based gameplay is the better deal.
Yeah. Well, so anyways, in 2014 or something like that, my dad had this girlfriend for a couple years, right? We didn't get along. She was one of those people who, the very first time I met this girlfriend, she took me out. She bought me a Spider-Man toy. He had suction cups on his hands, so you an action figure. And she she bought a Nintendo for me. She said it was my Nintendo, but she took it away. But so that way, when I would go to her house, I could play Nintendo. She really just wanted my dad to rail her, to Lutheran rail her. You know what I mean? And so anyways, eventually I'm like, I don't want to go there anymore. I don't want to hang out at this place, I hate her house. I want to be at my house with my stuff, my toys, And so eventually I'm just staying home. My dad would just leave me $40 and go over there for a day or two. And I'm for the most part, fine. Start playing guitar, having a good time, right? Become my own little man at this time, if you will. Well, then my father meets my stepmother, and they are become big Christians. And then they are you're going to go. And when you see this, and my dad still thinks this way to this day. He thinks that if I see a big stage show and I'd be like, wow, Jesus, I see a big stage show and I'm like, oh, wow, that does not feel like Cup of Christ stuff to me. I got more from Indy from Last Crusade than you know what I'm saying? When at the end of the day, I'm I know what happens when you drink from that fancy cup, I am buying that even on that level. So anyways, though, my parents make me go. I don't want to go. I fucking hate it. Like, we're like, me and my dad are like fist fighting about this shit. Like Sunday mornings, he's like, get up. I'm like, no. He's like, get up. And then he's like, do the little bit of the smacking around. I'm punching back because I'm like a man now. I'm not like a little kid. I'm like 6'1" at this point. You know what I mean? I'm not like a little dude. And so it's like, I'm not good. So anyways, they trick me. They take me out to eat, and then they drive me to the Angel Stadium. And that's where they're doing the Harvest Festival, and they're fucking all raising their hands up, listening to their bad fucking Jars of Clay style fucking music. That sucks dick. To this day, Jars of Clay still.
I'm into Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey you. Right, I know that shit.
Yeah.
You just like fucking my life, dude.
So they like do this point. And this is like, I just have one of those moments where I'm just like, I'm full of rage, brother. And I don't
like
want to be
Macho
here.
Man.
Oh yeah. I snap. And so like they ask people to come down onto the field to accept Jesus into their hearts. And I'm like, why do you have to go down onto a field? If the whole point of Jesus is you could just literally accept him anywhere you want, why do you have to go onto angels? No, it's because of spectacle. It's show.
Right.
And so fucking, I just straight up blurred out, all these people just want to go on the baseball field. They just want to go where the Angels play. You know what I mean? And everybody turns
like
around.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. Angels in the outfield.
Yep.
Yep. And
Struzan did that poster.
Yeah. And yeah. And then I was like, and then I go full Holden Caulfield. People start looking at me, and I'm just like, you're fucking phonies. You're phonies. My dad's like dragging me out by my shirt. We go home, and nobody ever made me go anywhere. I didn't want to go again, though. It was worth it. Completely worth it. You know, like I said, I have no idea if there's a God or not. I don't know which God's the right God or any of that stuff, but I do know Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and that shit is not the right cup for sure.
Tapestries.
hey,
tapestries.
It's a good scene.
For tapestries.
It's you know what, Rob? Sometimes not everything Indy does works. Okay. He tried.
Tapestries.
Yesterday, the Superman story broke, and the articles were like not hitting, you know, or I couldn't find them yet. My computer was not working well.
I like it when it doesn't load. It's my favorite.
There it goes. Yeah, I know.
Damn it.
I know. To be fair, on this day, I have about 15 tabs open, and we're hanging it up on one story.
It doesn't load.
Superman Legacy finds new lead with David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan solo.
You can't say Brosnahan, can you?
Brosnahan. I'm not good at names. I don't know what happened. Everybody's name got difficult
journalist.
for me. I could write it. I could spell it. I can't say it.
One thing you're supposed to be good at is name.
The duo will star as Clark Kent and Lois Lane Jr. in James Gunn's film. And by the way, I've been tripping out on Bespin Bulletin. He's never seen Miss Maisel, and he's never seen Black Mirror, which surprises me because he's seen everything. I think he should watch both of those shows, by the way. Recommendation.
I like her performance. Anytime I see someone try to write stand-up, it's not stand-up. It's like a monologue.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And they're all laughing. That's my problem. Like, the closest I've ever seen to it that worked was when Seinfeld would do the cold opens, but that was him actually with an audience and he was doing material. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the only time it's ever worked. But fake stand-up is like, all right, you know,
I don't have I mean, I don't think her performing is the best parts of the show or anything like that. But when you watch that series, you can see how she could rock that role as Lois Lane.
Oh, 100%.
You could see her having the sarcasm, her having the like short patience with Clark. You know what I mean? Yeah, all of that stuff.
Run him right over.
Yeah. There was another contender that Bespin wanted, but I did want her. The guy David Cornsweet from is it Cornsweet? Cornsweet? I don't know. David Cornsweet. Cornsweet. It doesn't have a sweat.
Schwet. It's Cornsweet.
Yeah, he was in Pearl, and he plays the projectionist in that. Once again, it's not a role where I would go, "Hey, that guy should be Superman," but at the same time, he's good in that role. So I think Superman.
Well, he was in that Netflix miniseries Hollywood, so that clip's been going around.
Okay,
and
I haven't seen it.
That's the one where I'm like, yeah, that's more like Clark. More to the point, he has like a Jim Halpert kind of vibe to him.
Yeah,
which I think but he clearly looks more like a Superman than Jim Halpert did, right? So
yeah,
that'll work.
Yeah. I mean, as like a male model or a cosplayer, he could rock it. I know that. You know what I mean? And so, and I think that role's been pretty defined. So
he needs to not buff up too much.
Yeah.
We don't. There is a point where you're like when Cavill worked out and he's super huge, and then he puts on a muscle suit over it. I don't understand that. Don't you put the muscle suit on like a guy like Shazam who don't have muscles, or Michael Keaton?
I thought Amy Adams looked like she was 10 years older than Cavill. Like I thought it looked too.
Nothing wrong with that. I used to date older women all the time.
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying I'm talking about like visually playing right on screen. I don't think she was a good choice, and I don't think she was a good choice for Cavill in that. I don't think it was a good pairing of those two. On these ones right here, I think she also looks a little bit older. I think she's maybe 3 years older than him. But I also think that it, as somebody at the Daily Planet who's his senior, I think it actually makes sense. And I don't think it's so like the disparity. It's not Anakin and Padme or anything. You know what I mean?
Well, this comes down to the writing, man. Like, as much as like I think Man of Steel's cool, David Goyer not really like a newspaper news hound kind of guy. Like he's not gonna. Yeah. Like if you've seen, I mean, you haven't watched Peacemaker, right?
No.
Like you just see, Dad. You should just like he comes up with his character. He didn't come up with it. It was a character named Vigilante, but it's like Gunn's version of Deadpool. If he wasn't meta, if he was just a character in a world, right, who was fucking weird and ultra violent. And I'm like, that is something that Goyer is incapable of doing. Like that character alone,
right?
Like a guy who's just, how do I say it? Like. You go, this is an unassuming dude who could just murder us all, and has no morals, but he's also kind of nice. Like it's, yeah.
See, like when I see this right here, Rob, Cavill went on to appear in Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League, and cameo in Black Adam.
Well, parts of him appeared in Justice League. His mouth didn't.
Yeah. My point face. is you could feel bad for the guy, you could like the guy, but the guy never got to be in a good Superman movie, as far as I'm concerned. Superman Legacy has a release date of July 11th.
Entertaining. I like it.
Superman Legacy has a release date of July 11th, 2025. So I would imagine that's contingent upon the writer's strike ending someday. It's sounding like we're at the tail end of it right now. So I'm hoping.
Your guess on this has been better than anyone else. Like you've been ahead of the curve. Like
I've been doing the homework on it, and like the one thing about it is like I said, it all hinges right now on that small writers' room, and both sides I think though are showing it that to be are presenting it stupidly. Even the writers. I'm on the writer's side for the record, but you do have to allow a single writer. If it's not a single writer, then I think the floodgates need to open. And they just need to come up with some kind of compromise that says this is a single writer show, or this show's being done. I think they need to declare up front what it's going to be, and then there needs to be rules for the capacity of the writer.
You should be in charge of these people.
I'm ready, dude. I'm ready to fucking. I'm ready to.
Certainly, you could do it better than Fran Drescher. Right?
I don't know, man. The fucking nanny dude is hot. Nanny's hot.
She is. I've loved her since Spinal Tap and UHF specifically. Yeah. I always wanted her and Annie Potts to team up for something. That was Rob's little kinky dream in the early '90s. But then until Marissa Tomei showed up, and I just forgot about both of them. But what I would say though, man, is like they just don't have. They don't have like a clear guidance, I think, on their own end. Like they don't have a clear.
You see this guy, dude? You see what this guy's saying?
Didn't past reports claim it would focus on a younger juniors? That's why I wanted Emma McKay.
That's not why he wanted Emma McKay. That's not why he doesn't. Everything else, you could just stop it, delete
Emma
all
Mackey.
of it.
I don't know who Emma McKay.
Just all you need from Best and Bulletin is I wanted Emma McKay. That's all you need. Or Mackey. Is it Mackey? It's Mackey. I'm stupid. Emma Mackey. That's it. That's
everywhere in the world but America, it's Mackie, but here they pronounce it McKay because that's
McKay.
what we do. Yeah. That's what we do.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I think he has a Bespin.
They are younger. They're 10 years younger than Cavill, bro. Like Cavill's pushing 50, man. Like,
yeah,
it's closer to my age.
Well, and that's the thing though, is like there's like a certain look to being like the elder version of a character. Like he and I, we always talk like people say, like, if you wanted Flash to be a big hit with the actual audience who was going to see it, you needed Christian Bale's Batman. And I'm like, you're right. In terms of just like the numbers game, but also when I see Christian Bale, I don't see Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just like whenever I see Ewan McGregor, when I think of the concept of Ewan McGregor playing Obi-Wan Kenobi to a CGI Mark Hamill, I'm like, no, it doesn't work. He doesn't look old. He looks good still. He still looks like
also,
he has that like leading man like physicality to him still, and not like, oh, this is my like fucking caring grandfather who's going to teach me how to be a man. You know, he doesn't have. It's different. So
also at the heart of Superman is a love story between these two characters, and so casting them together is something you have to do. You have to write around that, and a lot of movies just forget this. And the only movie that really got it right was the first Superman movie. Even Superman 2, I have a version of that, a fan edit that I think plays well, visual effects aside, but both edits on their own are woefully inadequate in that area. They're better, but better than 3, 4, and Man of Steel and anything else that came after it. But
yeah, and I think that the like I said, her being like her seeming more mature and of the world than him is like almost like a tacit theme in what makes it work, like intrinsically work, because he's not from the world. He's a fucking alien, and he's pretending to be a person, but also obscuring his actual power. He's not flaunting his power. He's obscuring it entirely. So her being the one to take him by the hand, like, and sort of being like, this is fucking Earth in her own way. It makes complete sense. When in reality, we know he has, he could fucking flick a bean like they're bullets.
But I also think like in a similar way that, you put a Tony Stark next to a Captain America, right? You got a guy who's cynical, smarmy, lives in the world, motor mouse, and then you got this like would-be do-gooder who's been out of touch, living in his own world for 50 fucking years, right? Like, you put those two together, you get an interesting combination, right? So
this quote, if taken out of context, could look so bad. I completely relate to Superman because he's everything I am, Gunn told THR. But he goes on to elaborate.
I should go on the DVD box. Just that.
He's somebody who is an outsider who feels like an alien, but also the ultimate insider because he's fucking Superman, and that's kind of what I feel like. So it makes sense. And then we have this story that we won't read out all the way out, but I thought it was interesting because I keep hearing it. And Phoebe Waller-Bridge has sort of got like shit on for making a bunch of money from Amazon and not delivering anything, is what they say.
Oh, J.J. Abrams style.
No, and that's been our joke and the joke. But the thing about it is,
she have a birthmark on her head?
Looks like it, huh? She says,
or did someone throw tomatoes at the premiere again? Like, remember what Penguin says? Why does someone always bring tomatoes to one of these things? Like
it cracks me up how all of these dudes that are like all about being hetero and man, like, I fucking hate this chick. She's fucking hot as fuck. All right, I worked on that show for 6 months fully in heart and mind and really cared about it. Still care about it, Waller-Bridge said of the series starring Donald Glover. She worked on the fucking show for 6 months. And then they went into like different directions. So the idea that she didn't deliver anything, it's not necessarily fair. And then, you know what I mean? Like, she worked on it for 6 months. Well, what do you want? Like, it's not a like you get paid kind of deal where you get paid when we accept your thing. People need to. She got way overpaid. We could agree on that. But still, she did the fucking thing. And then she goes on to talk about, as for the rumors, Waller-Bridge is directing the next James Bond movie. After only directing a single music video, she laughed it off. My mom sent me that rumor too, Waller-Bridge said, while coyly laughing it away. So the obvious leap is James Bond. You know, she's basically saying, I fucking directed a fucking music
It's more
video.
likely Christopher Nolan will direct the next James Bond movie if you're going to pick a name out of hat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's going to need a big win after this Bond movie. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Dude.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think everybody's gonna not have that great of a summer apparently. And then Taika Waititi's next goal wins is set for Toronto Film Festival world premiere. The soccer comedy that stars Will Arnett and Michael Fassbender will get a release by Searchlight Pictures on November 17th. So we are getting, you know, a Taika movie out. Taika's next goal wins is set to receive a world premiere at Toronto Film Festival. The soccer comedy, directed and co-written by New Zealander filmmaker, is set for a November 17th release date for Searchlight Pictures.
Football comedy.
Yeah, a soccer movie. It's soccer. It's about like the worst soccer team, and I think all they want to get is a goal.
Are they Americans?
No, it's based on a true story. The film stars Michael Fassbender, Will Arnett, Elizabeth Moss, Oscar Knightley, Kaimiana, David Fain, Rachel House, Bulak Koele, Uli Lakutufu, and Samu Filippo. I did my best.
Even get those. You split. You move the K and the T around.
Yeah,
Latu Kefu.
Latu Kefu. Okay. So next goal wins.
You know what? You saw Lakitu. You nitwit.
I'm a Mario.
Mario. I knew you, Mario nerd.
I'm a shy guy. All right. Next goal wins was originally set to open in April 2023, but had to undergo reshoots when Armie Hammer exited because he's a cannibal. The project after the actor was accused by multiple women of sexual assault and being a cannibal. Arnett replaced Hammer in playing a soccer executive working at the Football Federation America Samoa, which required reshoots. We're through, and then so basically, yeah. So Taika will have a movie, you know, coming out that we're getting past it, you know.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's good, but that's good. That means Star Wars comes up closer, becomes more of a possibility. And then this one right here, I just want to pull up for 1 second and laugh at it. Tom Cruise urges fans to see rival summer movies Barbie and Oppenheimer after literally fucking sabotaging him. What a fucking asshole. What a stupid asshole.
Oh,
You're really gonna like play that. No,
summer. You loved him last summer. You went and saw Top Gun 3 times.
I saw Top Gun. I saw Top Gun 1 time, and I'm good.
Saw it 3 times.
But he's like, yeah, you know what? You know, and see Indiana Jones. It's like, but I'm gonna make sure you can't see those movies in the theater first. You know, and then like this one right here, Tron movies always suck. I'll just be honest with you. I love the idea of Tron. I love all parts of Tron.
Science talk. We're gonna make fun of Scientology. We're gonna make fun of every religion. Scientology. All the religions are fucking stupid. I got a better chance of praying to Star Wars Santa than you do to Jesus. Just letting you know.
Dahmer star Evan Peters joins Jared Leto in Disney's Tron 3. So I like that guy. I think
it's called Tron Ares. It's not Tron Ares 3. The dumbest fucking subtitle I've ever heard, dude.
Yeah. Tron
Ares Virgo. Tron Gemini, Tron Sagittarius, Tron fucking lame, dude.
Fucking he just sent me, Bestman Bulletin just sent me pictures of Tom Cruise with pictures of having tickets for Barbie and Indiana Jones.
Not good for him.
Does that help him sleep at night? Does it help him sleep at night after he like literally fucking did everything he could to fuck those films? Like he fucked those films. Like what? And then, you know, like he wants like a pat on the back, like he's like a good guy or something. It's like, that's fucking insane.
He's a good guy. I agree.
He's a fucking nut. He's a nutball. He's a fucking nut.
Look at that. Man, McQuarrie's looking more like Lucas every day, isn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's looking.
They're going to bar.
I think he's. Wait, look at his hand. I think he's saying, help me. I think he's SOS. No, he's giving SOS hand signals, Rob. He needs help.
No. He's doing that. I'm not going to say the joke. I'm going to leave that joke out. I'm going to leave it.
Come on. He's getting He's got his thetan levels going through the roof right now. You got to help him, Rob.
Yeah. Thetan.
I have a feeling if you take every first word he says on those podcasts you listen to from him, he's probably giving you a secret message. Rob, you're the only one who's listening. Please save me.
Beep, 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 beep. Look, it looks like George Lucas went to go see fucking Indiana Jones with Tom Cruise, right? I mean, let's take a look. Let's compare. Yeah, it looks just like me. Look at that. Yeah.
He definitely wiped his ass with those tickets after he was done. You know, he was like, "Fuck you." You know, he's doing some Scientology voodoo curses.
Look,
on
those
him.
are going to be the only two people seeing the movie that day. What do you want, Jason? Don't you want people to go see the movie?
Yeah. So okay, so we got spoilers that have leaked from Deadpool. And Mr. Bespin.
We got to wrap this show up, Jason. We got 10 minutes here. Let's do it.
No, you could go. I mean, you gotta go. I gotta read this. I gotta read this. These are so. Are you okay with knowing them? Are you down with shit?
The only thing I don't want to know about is Avatar.
Okay,
that's it.
All right.
And since no one can get any fucking shit out from Cameron, no one will know. So
yeah,
that's it. Everything else, if you don't, I'm like, I don't care.
And I would imagine once some of the stuff will change on this too. Once they bring in Homeboy to do his ADR and stuff, you know, and write it more. All right, Deadpool is arrested by the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, as seen in Loki, following the events of Deadpool 2, which saw the Merc with a mouth using Cable's time travel devices to mess with the time in series of gags at the end of the film, including the killing the X-Men Origins Wolverine version of himself.
Right.
Cable and Domino.
Green Lantern joke. Yeah.
Cable and Domino are mentioned, but do not appear on the screen. As a TVA judge played by Emma Corrin details Deadpool's crimes against time, in that in a deal with Cable, they sent him back to his own time in exchange for his time travel devices. The TVA,
I wanted Emma McKay.
The TVA judge is not happy with the Fox X-Men's methods of time travel. She doesn't mention the Foxverse, but references Cable's time travel in Deadpool 2 and Kitty Pryde in X-Men Days of Future Past. She claims that the Foxverse time travel are a hassle and a bother to clean up.
Yeah.
Eventually, the judge sentences Deadpool to be erased from time, but a TVA agent, Paradox played by Matthew McFadden, speaks up in Deadpool's defense.
I know that guy.
Asking the judge for leniency. Paradox proposes that Deadpool sentenced to work for the TVA, helping Paradox on a mission that's causing him and the TVA a lot of bother. A mission that both takes place on Earth 838.
Fans are gonna get this.
Does this make sense to you?
No.
Okay.
I get it, but this is really plotty.
Throughout the film, Deadpool will refer to Paradox as Bob, as he finds his name boring and too long. The judge hears Paradox pleas and decides that Deadpool will answer for his crimes by working for the TVA and to aid Paradox on Earth 838.
Yeah.
Earth 838 was featured in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's the world where Strange and America Chavez traveled to which featured cameos from Patrick Stewart's Professor X, John Krasinski as Reed Richards. Professor X and Reed Richards were part of the Illuminati, a group of heroes. Not that one, Rob. Who fought
George
to keep
Soros?
No, that's probably Tom Cruise, your hero. Their universe.
Yes. Oh, okay, I like it.
In Multiverse of Madness, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch of the true MCU timeline, took control of the body of 838 Wanda and murdered Professor X and the Illuminati members.
Yeah.
But she was eventually stopped by Strange at the end of the movie and was thought to be dead. Wanda lived, and the struggle of the mind between MCU Wanda and 838's Wanda resulted in 838 being eviscerated, and what followed was the world being taken over by mutants, led by none other than Magneto, played by Ian McKellen. Magneto rules the Earth and has taken Wanda in as his adoptive daughter. with mutants being the dominant species of Earth 838. That's like the original story, right? That's like from when we were kids, right? Wanda being
I remember.
Magneto's
Did Jim Lee draw
daughter.
I kind of
well remember
yes
that.
And no, yes
okay.
and no. It's
It was a
convoluted.
kink thing. That's cool. As long as they were both
Rob Liefeld did a good history on this once, and you can kind of it's all tied to magic and Doctor Doom magic armor, a bunch of weird shit. So.
Yeah. All right. The X-Men are part of this universe, with the group tasked with protecting the mutant world from the Human Brotherhood, which features Nick Fury, Jimmy Woo from the Ant-Man movies. Depinder? Who's that? A taxi driver from Deadpool.
Driver.
Oh, okay. And Pete from Deadpool too. The Human Brotherhood also have mutant allies, sympathizers including Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
This sounds brilliant. Can't wait.
And Yukio from Deadpool, as well as Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
This is much better than just dropping him in the universe and see what happens when you folks want a lot of plot.
Rob,
want plot and characters. This is what you get.
This might just be how it's being presented in leaks. When it comes to the leaks, you always have to understand that somebody who knows the leaks knows a lot of the backstory, and when they're presenting things for clarification, all of this stuff may be in the subtext and presented, and it may be what you're saying. And we don't know because they're not saying how the characters are introduced. So I always say don't shit on leaks and start judging a movie because we don't know how they're introduced in the story. They're not telling us.
All I'm knowing is Jane Goldman wrote First Class, and she did the actual script for fucking Days of Future Past that Kinberg, he did some polish that, he added the train bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But Jane Goldman, man, she really praised David S. Friedman's Beyond Structure workshop as improving her work. She's a fantastic writer. And I just think like these cats should probably be paying more attention to David S. Friedman's stuff versus this just feels like Kinberg style like nonsense to me. But all right.
The X-Men featured are cast members from Bryan Singer's X-Men movies, but are not from the universe. Neither are the characters from the MCU and Deadpool movies featured in the Human Brotherhood, but they are cast members from those movies. At some point, Deadpool and Paradox meet with Human Brotherhood, and upon discovering that time travel is possible, Wolverine steals Paradox's TVA time travel device. Wolverine attempts to change history, and in his travels, he is sent through various Fox Marvel universes, which allows Wolverine to see Channing Tatum as Gambit, a nod to the long in development feature film that never came to be. Yeah, we saw how well that worked out with Flash, as well as seeing Ben Affleck as Daredevil, to name a couple. Eventually, Wolverine sees the events of X2 and how the events were changed by Wanda's manipulation in this universe, as well as the finale of X-Men: The Last Stand, which featured the fight of the Golden Gate Bridge, but with Magneto becoming victorious. Yeah. Deadpool enlists the help of various Fox characters that didn't die at the hands of Magneto in a redo of the Golden Gate Bridge fight, including the Logan version of Wolverine in X-23, played by Daphne Keane, along from Acolyte, along with several different Deadpools, including one that is just Ryan Reynolds wearing a Wrexham Football Club t-shirt, a nod to Ryan Reynolds owning the Welsh football team, Wrexham AFC. The fight spirals out of control, and the vast majority of the characters end up dead, along with a catastrophic amount of civilians. However, our heroes are successful and inject Wanda with a mutant cure. Aww. Fed up with the mess Deadpool, Wanda, and Wolverine all caused, the TVA send the trio to the MCU and declare them another universe's problem, and that the universe itself has issues. Wolverine sets off to find the mutants of this world, and Deadpool arrives at his apartment to find Blind AI, a character from Deadpool, waiting for him. Oh, Blind Al. Sorry. Blind Chat GPT. No, Blind Al. I see it now.
He should call her that, though. Like, just to fuck with, it's funny.
A character from Deadpool waiting for him in his bed. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So, I don't see them casting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the MCU. So I'll take all this worth, 3 cents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it sounds like what we've been getting. Hey, Star Wars Meg, how's it going, buddy? How are you?
I wonder, you know what? Spreezy, if you're listening, run this by Snyder.
By Snyder.
And let's see what Snyder thinks about all
See
this
what his
stuff.
Snidey senses say. Snidey senses.
Yeah. I mean, you talked to him. I met him once. I don't know where he lives.
Me? I've never talked to him. I've never talked to him.
You know. I didn't talk to him. He just gave me the Jack Nicholson look, you know.
Yeah. But that's the whole like what Royal Fiend is saying.
Rogan.
Leaks can seem a lot more confusing than it actually is. And it's exactly like it's not like a play-by-play, it's not a shot-by-shot. It's like here's like the plot. Here's the thing. And when you are conveying a plot, well, what happens? The writing gets plotty. So this could be really bad, or it could be, a lot better than it sounds. It does sound like they read the script to The Flash and they wanted to do their version of it. And
here's the problem I have, Jason. Here's the problem I have. Do you see why I don't like Back to the Future 2? Do you understand now?
You are wrong.
Do you understand?
You are wrong.
Doing?
It's the best Back to the
through
Future.
Their old movies. It's not good.
Dude,
multiple versions running through movies. Got to see scenes all over again. It's not.
That was fucking genius.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this anymore. We're done with this.
What?
Let's not do this.
Nah, man.
No, we're done with this one. Let's stop.
Stop
looking to Back to the Future 2 for the answers to your problems. Look to Back to the Future 1 for the answers to your problems. Not 2. Definitely not 3.
You sound crazy right now. I'll say that much. Come on. Alternate 1985 is fucking rad, dude. Alternate 1985, you don't have any love for it, even though we just lived through it.
Lived through it until that motherfucker's buried on a golf course. We're still living in it.
All right. How about this?
Other top
secret
documents.
How about that, Rob? When
they gave, it's my favorite part.
when he sees his mom with the big old boobs. Come on, man.
What?
Now you're just naming other movies now. Summer Rental.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fucking Ghost? Wasn't Ghost in Summer Rental?
Huh?
You're thinking of Summer School. You're trying to say
Summer School. Yeah.
You're thinking of
Revenge of the
School.
Nerds too.
Nerds in Paradise. Yeah.
Nerds in Paradise.
Courtney Thorne-Smith. Totally looks different.
They don't make lampshades like that anymore, huh?
No. I don't know, man. But anyways, yeah. I will agree with you though. Not everybody can do Back to the Future Part 2 because only Bob Gale could do it.
I stand to reason they didn't do it very well, but
you were wrong though. As
Across
always,
the Spider-Verse got it right. They got what they were trying to do.
And you know what? Well. Spider-Verse is good movie. Definitely a good movie. As revolutionary as Back to the Future Part 2? No, not at all. Time travel as a genre has existed since what? I mean,
here's my problem with this write-up, right?
But nobody did it. No, but I'm saying nobody did what Back to the Future 2. Back to the Future 2, that was a new novel concept.
Here's the problem with the write-up.
That's new, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. The problem with the write-up is this, Jason. Yeah. People waiting to see Deadpool in the MCU, they're wondering how he would react with all the MCU stuff, and they got him only dealing with all the Fox shit, which, you know what I mean? It was what no one's asking. That's not the promise of the premise. You know? That's like a cop-out.
But what we don't have in this is we don't have Deadpool commenting on all of this stuff, making jokes constantly. We don't have Deadpool's perspective on any of this. This is simply the plot. This is like the big plot.
Yeah, but let's say it is this, and their whole excuse is, well, we want to wrap up the Fox universe, and then we'll have Deadpool with dealing with the MCU in another movie. That is going to anger people. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I mean, in reality,
it's not going to sit well.
No. In reality, I would rather all of the stuff that had happened to have caused the mutants to become like a thing, and then like it to start springing up, and then bringing something new. Because those Fox movies. I don't care about them either. I want the old Fox X-Men movies. I never want to see them again.
I never want to see the easiest way around this was after they reconstructed the universe with the snap, that it created the X gene. It didn't snap perfectly.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that just a random group of people started appearing, and because of what superheroes, how much trouble they cause on Earth, people with powers would be seen as like in a negative light post snap, and that would be the difference. Like it seems like the easiest fucking thing to do, man. And they've just gone the most convoluted fucking route you can fucking think of.
That was my thinking when I had the same like that just makes the most sense. And then you have Professor
Simple,
X having lived this alternate history for years, and he has been doing it for like 30, 40 years now, or whatever he's supposed to be, or 20 years or whatever it is, but he's been doing it in secret because it's just been a thing, and he's been the one who's been monitoring it, you know, something like that. And then then you bring that Nick Fury into that shit, and then you kind of have it all kind of link up. It would make the most sense to me. And but because I feel like all of this right now though is about massaging everyone being okay with when they do the changeover. It's like they're so fucking it reads to me like they're afraid of when they make the new Wolverine and they make the new Storm, and that these people who are beloved and
but
that's going to be rejected.
The average person, Deadpool in the MCU universe, and it's a movie about him running through all the fucking Fox films, dealing with Fox characters. Yeah. I'm just telling you, that's not going to sit well with folks. You guys, you can say I'm wrong all I want. When the fucking movie comes out, if that's what it is, watch what happens at the box office. Like I rarely predict numbers, but I'm telling you, they're going to be angry. It's going to be confusing to people.
Just cite this last month, man. That's all you got to do. What happened with the Flash?
Right.
There's a lot of things going on with it. There's a lot, but the thing about the Flash is you can't pick one thing and say that's what did it. It wasn't one punch on Flash's face that like took it down. But you can see if you remove each one of those punches, people didn't really respond very strongly.
I mean, it'd be one thing if there was, they can't do it because if this is the plot, going with that 838 thing, you don't have an Avengers, like an alternate Avengers for Deadpool to go up against in the event, right? But like, that's the thing, dude. It's just
it really depends on. No, I mean, at the end of the day, is if the movie is actually funny, if Ryan Reynolds is in top form, then almost the plot, like as Will says, the first Deadpool was relatively simplistic when it comes to plot. The second was too plot heavy. This sounds much like the second one. And I agree with you because I remember the first movie a hell of a lot more than the second one because I didn't care that much. And so, but I
had a love story at the center of the first movie, and the second one is all about moving characters around. And I felt the second one should have been really simple. It's that he's in trouble for being a shitty fucking X-Men, and he's got to fucking be in charge of the Breakfast Club. He's got to run the delinquents on Saturday. And instead of being the Breakfast Club, we're going to be the X-Force or whatever. Breakfast Force, X-Force. You know what I mean? Like, and so he's got all the Saturday school rejects with them going on a mission or some shit, you know? Like on the weekend, you know, when there's like he's supposed to, instead maybe he wants to be a dad, so he gets in charge of the kids. He was put in charge of the kids because he wants to be a dad because, you know, but he can't have kids. It's that kind of thing. Wanting to be a dad, but he can't. But this whole, man, that first movie, Jason, they wrote those jokes for 7 years. You know, and the second movie they got done in 18 months. So and they used Ryan Reynolds ad-libbing to try to make up the difference, and I don't think it worked. You know,
what's the difference though? I think what gives this one a shot is the difference between the Flash and this Deadpool film is that people love Ryan Reynolds and they don't care that he's been playing the same character with the same performance in the same movie for like 10 years. And that's the only thing that makes me go, maybe it'll still do okay.
The novelty draw is, in my opinion, an R-rated MCU movie. So we can see Deadpool do R-rated shit to characters that have been in PG-rated films so far, essentially, right? And I know they're not PG, but people consider them to be. So let's just keep that
I know. Yeah.
And if they're not doing that at all,
yeah,
there's going to be a fucking revolt. I'm just telling you, dude. Yeah. It's not going to sit. We'll see a 56% tomato meter. People will be fucking unhappy, blah, blah, blah. Ryan Reynolds was played out. Disney killed it. It's just, that's the promise. And if it's just him and all the I know we haven't seen him with all the X-Men characters, but you essentially have. Like, you know, like we get it. Like we know it's not the draw here.
Yeah. Well, Rob, you know what I have to say to that, Rob? Well, hold on. Bestman Bulletin says, with Secret Wars, though, Hugh Jackman being in the MCU could be nothing. He likely won't be the MCU Wolverine. And I agree with you on that. I think it plays to me like he just wanted to be in a movie with Ryan Reynolds, and he was like, yeah, I'll do Wolverine with you. That'd be fun. That's what it, like me and Bestman always laugh at like certain actors who clearly are only doing something because they want to spend the summer with somebody, like fucking what's his name? The guy who plays Batman at the end of the Flash. Clooney. You can tell Clooney just does movies with actors he wants to hang out with for a couple months.
Yeah, but Clooney didn't have to work out like Hugh Jackman does for 6-9 months, dude. However long it takes, it's a lot of effort what Jackman does.
Yeah, sure, but he's also probably
showed up,
probably working out with Ryan Reynolds. You know what I mean? Probably fun. I mean, I bet Ryan Reynolds is probably a pretty cool guy to hang out with, right? He seems pretty cool. Like he'd be pretty fun to hang out with. But anyways, Rob. Do you know what tonight is?
He's always trying to change your mobile plan over to his.
Trying to get you to invest in this football
team.
If
you hang out with Ryan Reynolds, in between conversations, does he just break out into an advertisement for his own stuff like most podcasts do now? Right?
Probably.
Like,
yeah.
Speaking
of, you could become a channel member.
Or does he promote John Campia's show when he talks to you? Like,
that's you, man. You're the one always talking about these guys who don't want shit to do with us, who wouldn't fucking piss on us if we were on fire. Not me.
Well,
I'm like,
they like you.
No, they hate me. They don't like me.
He's quoted Making Star Wars on this show before.
Well, I appreciate that, Campia. Maybe you would piss on me if I was on fire. I don't know though.
He'd TikTok it for certain.
He'd TikTok it. I appreciate that. That's fine. Yeah. As long as you fucking film this way for YouTube, please. But I was gonna say
don't use vertical videos.
Do you know what day it is, Rob?
It's the show's over day.
It's Indy Eve, Rob. It's Indy Eve tomorrow.
Indy Eve.
Tomorrow, I'm either the happiest little boy in the world, or I'm gonna be a sad little boy. It's gonna be like, remember Willow?
At the end?
Well, like Willow was like a bad date, right? If this is bad, this is going to be like a divorce. It's not going to be good, Rob.
If you cry at the end, you got to take a photo.
Really,
I want to see the tears. I loved it so much. You gotta do it.
He's so fucking old now. He's gonna.
I'm never gonna see him again, except when I put on the film on Disney Plus and I watch it from the beginning. Like that.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah. It was that part when Marion helped him pick out his Medicare Advantage plan. It was fucking good, dude. It was so good. She helped him. But
remember when they used a snake as a rope?
Azatru says, really trust me. Trust me. I trust you, Azatru. I do. No, I mean, because like Azatru, you have the rep of liking everything fun. I think that's a good rep to have, by the way. Like, I think that's a good way to be in life, even.
I'm not making fun of you, Azatru. I'm making fun of Jason crying. I want him to photograph.
Yeah, no, my point on the Azatru reference is if Azatru, who likes everything, said it was really awful, then I'd be like, we are fucked. You know what I mean? That's when I'd be like, oh God, okay, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's unlikely it's going to work. But I keep hearing
Snokes.
Things.
Why'd it have to be Snokes?
Yeah.
Oh, Snakes. I like Snokes.
Snokes. Why'd it have to be Snokes? Yeah, Snoke always seems to be coming back, doesn't he? But
you're gonna be in the Mando movie.
But tomorrow,
wait.
In exactly 24 hours, I'll be sitting down in the theater with my kids, getting ready to watch the movie, being like, all right, I hope they showed the Indiana Jones trailer. Oh wait, and that's what'll happen. So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good time. And I do think my critique, part of my canned pre-critique, is going to be the movie's too long. The movie should have been as long as the other ones, roughly. I think that's probably. But he says
should have brought back the mine carts. Fuck it. I want to see him go on the mine carts with the 80-year-old back. No.
No. We don't want that. We want new references made, not just callback. That's what I say.
No, I want a whole do it.
And the only good callback ever, in my opinion, a true callback, is when he's with Elsa in the catacombs in Italy, and she goes, "What's that?" And he goes, "Ark of the Covenant." And she goes, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Pretty sure." That's pretty good, right? That's pretty
good.
After Truth says, it's really just 2 hours of nonstop indie action adventure. It hits on a lot of nostalgia points people might not like. Okay, so yeah, so that's one of the things.
A loop-de-loop for the mine carts this time, Jason. Like a big loop.
No.
All right, we didn't get a loop last time, but now we can do it. We can get a loop.
Yeah, so that's Star Wars. Eddie says, have you all heard the rumors about Disney selling Star Wars to Saudi Arabia? And he's laughing, and it's like, yeah,
no.
Oh, you bought it, George. George bought it.
No, it's because I made a joke about selling it to Jafar and the fucking internet. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
I believe you said a long time ago in a galaxy Jafar far away. That was your joke. You keep saying it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
How did you know? How did you know?
Yeah. You shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, I was in a very dark place.
So. You were. Yeah. It's weird though. It's a little racist on your part.
Well, have you seen my movies? Have you?
Oh, that's true.
You don't get the Phantom Menace without being just a little racist.
You're not wrong there, a little bit.
Also, Dole Whips are $14.50 now. This is ridiculous.
I mean, George is always going in my ear and saying sometimes stereotypes are true, and I'm like, George, no, no, George, But
wonder if George acted out the Nemodian voice for folks. So
well, his daughter is the voice. His daughter is the voice of the one in the control ship
with the eyes. Or the one? No, it's the one with red letter media. What's wrong with your face?
She's the one who has like the VR headset on or whatever, or on her eyeballs, and So the answer to that is they definitely did it. They were definitely doing it back and forth for a long time. So yeah. But hey, here we go. I mean, there's room for subtlety on the show. We know that George Lucas isn't racist, maybe just insensitive accidentally. I'd say probably is the more likely reality.
He just stumbled into that on accident.
No, if you grow up watching World War II movies with white people playing Asians and doing those voices, there is still probably a part of you.
My favorite is when they cut to the Japanese military and they all have perfect English accents ad-libbed over, like when they got Toshiro Mifune and all these other generals from Kurosawa films, and they add ADR British accents over them. I'm like, I'm so confused. Weren't the British our allies in this fucking war? Like, it's so weird. There's some weird shit going on in the 50s, man. You pay attention to them films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like what I mean, and it's weird because it's like, if you overthink it, like George is really honoring a past that's better forgotten. And it's because he finds it amusing, and they found it. The guys in the 70s making those movies. I just thought it'd
be a fun zip toy. You get the little string in the back, you pull it, and he says something vaguely racist from the 50s. I just thought that would be a big hit at KB's.
Yeah. You're right.
Look, I it's all in good fun. I'm just gonna sell it to the Embracer group when I get it back anyway. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Hey, your show's over.
Your show is over. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Should we go, George? Should we call it a day?
Hey,
all right, Rob. Hey, George. Say bye to Rob for me, but don't let Rob back on. We don't. He's just gonna talk about some game stuff.
He likes blue aliens. It's ridiculous.
He does. He likes that Avatar shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know that guy, right? You know that guy who made that shit. You get tired of that shit because you made like
Jimmy. Yeah,
Jimmy.
Yeah. Dennis Thrawn, and I used to call him Jimmy.
You call it his Thrawn movies, right? His Thrawn movies.
Well, he likes to play in the water. That's what we used to say. He likes to play in the water.
George, just want you to know that you've always been my favorite co-host.
Oh well, yeah. I prefer Star Wars, Meg.
Fuck you, George.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.